Why do you ruin something right when it starts getting better? You begin making progress, and suddenly, you procrastinate. You meet someone who treats you well, and you start looking for a reason to pull away. You get close to an opportunity, and you become invisible. Your life begins to open, but part of you pulls the brake. From the outside, it looks like lack of discipline. It looks like fear. It looks like drama. But maybe something deeper is happening. Part of your mind is not trying to destroy you. It is trying to return you to a place it recognizes. This video is about an uncomfortable truth. Sometimes you do not sabotage your life because you want to suffer. You sabotage it because part of you learned that the familiar feels safer than the good. Self-sabotage rarely arrives like an explosion. Often, it comes disguised as small reasonable decisions. I will start tomorrow. I am not ready. I do not want to get my hopes up. It is not a big deal. Better not say anything. Better not try too hard. The mind uses elegant phrases to hide retreat. And because those phrases sound careful, you do not recognize them as fear. You think you are being realistic, but maybe you are shrinking your life so you do not have to feel the vertigo of growth. Self-sabotage is not always breaking something violently. Sometimes it is letting something good die from lack of presence. Your conscious mind says, I want to change. But your nervous system asks a different question, is this safe? And to the nervous system, safe does not always mean healthy. Safe means familiar. If you grew up in chaos, calm can feel suspicious. If you learned that love came with tension, a peaceful relationship can feel boring or fake. If you got used to struggling, rest can feel dangerous. This is the cruel part. You can desire a better life while your body interprets that improvement as a threat. Not because you are weak. Because your biology learned to survive in an earlier world. Almost nobody talks about this. Success can be frightening too. Not only because of what you might lose, but because of what it might demand from you. If something works, maybe you will have to sustain it. If someone loves you well, maybe you will have to stop hiding. If your work grows, maybe you will have to become visible. If your life improves, maybe you will no longer be able to use suffering as the explanation for everything. Positive change does not only bring benefits. It also brings a new identity, new expectations, and new responsibility. Part of you may prefer to fail in a familiar way rather than succeed in a way you do not know how to inhabit. Everyone has a story about who they are. The one who is always late. The one who always chooses wrong. The one who never finishes anything. The one who never receives real love. The one who almost makes it. These stories hurt, but they also organize life. They tell you what to expect. They give you a role. And when reality begins to contradict that role, something inside you may resist. Not because the new life is bad, but because it threatens an old identity. If you were always the one who failed, success does not only change your results, it changes your character. And many people prefer a painful but familiar identity over a freedom they do not know how to interpret. Sometimes self-sabotage grows from silent loyalty. If you come from an environment where standing out was dangerous, wanting more can feel like betrayal. If your family normalized scarcity, abundance can bring guilt. If your friends bond through pain, improving can feel like abandoning the group. So your mind finds ways not to drift too far. Spend the money. Lose the opportunity. Start the argument. Stop replying. Not because you want to lose, but because winning can feel like losing belonging. Some people are not afraid of success. They are afraid of being alone if they change. One of the cleanest forms of self-sabotage is waiting until you feel ready. It sounds mature. It sounds responsible. But often, it is just fear with good manners. Preparation becomes a hiding place. You research more, plan more, rename the project, adjust details nobody will see. You tell yourself something is still missing, but what is missing is not information. It is tolerance for discomfort. Being ready does not always appear before action. Sometimes it appears after surviving the first clumsy attempts. If you wait to feel no fear, you may wait for years. Fear is not always a sign to stop. Sometimes it is the sign that you are leaving a cage. There is another darker reason. If something good can end, some people prefer to destroy it first instead of waiting for the hit. If someone could abandon you, you pull away first. If you could fail, you do not fully try. If they could reject you, you act in a way that makes rejection predictable. From the point of view of a wound, this is not irrational. It is a control strategy. The mind says, if I break it, at least I am not surprised. But that control has a brutal price. It protects you from unexpected pain by creating guaranteed pain. To see your self-sabotage, ask this: what am I avoiding feeling if I do not move forward? Do not only ask what you are avoiding doing. Ask what emotion you are avoiding. Maybe you are avoiding shame. Maybe hope. Maybe being seen. Maybe discovering that you actually could. That last one hurts more than it seems, because if you accept that you can change, you lose the excuse that protected you from trying. Another question: what part of me feels threatened by this improvement? Do not judge it immediately. Listen to it. Often, the inner enemy is an old protector using outdated methods. You do not break self-sabotage by hating yourself. That only creates another internal war. You break it by building safety around change. Make small promises and keep them. Teach your body to receive something good without running. Stay 5 minutes longer where you used to escape. Send the imperfect version. Let someone be kind without searching for the trap. You do not need to convince your whole mind at once. You need to show it, through repeated evidence, that a better life is not a threat. That you can grow without disappearing. That you can move forward without losing yourself. That change does not have to feel familiar to be safe. Maybe the part of you that sabotages you is not your enemy. Maybe it is an old, tired part, trained to survive in conditions that no longer exist. But if you let that part drive your entire life, it will keep taking you back to the same place, not because it is good, but because it recognizes it. Freedom begins when you can say, "Thank you for trying to protect me, but I no longer need to destroy my future to feel safe." You will not stop feeling fear overnight. But you can stop obeying it as if it were truth. And every time you choose not to break something good, you teach your mind a new signal: this time, we do not have to go back. And if this video showed you how part of you can destroy what it says it wants, the next video will show you another invisible mechanism working beneath your decisions. Watch the next video now. Because when you understand why your mind protects itself, you begin to see something almost everyone misses: not all your limits are personality. Some are old defenses waiting to be updated.